Joan Dazan, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the tips and tricks of running a successful business while you are raising a family and having kids around. Just a little bit of background for myself. When I started my online social media journey about 3 years ago, I had very young kids. They were 1, 3, and 5, all boys. And at that same time, my husband was overseas in a deployment with the military. So I had 3 young kids with my husband deployed. So I was kind of the home front spouse. And I was homeschooling, and I homeschool my kids also. So, business and kids, and how I made it work. I'm just going to be completely transparent here. Being a mom, you've got so many things on your plate, or being a parent, running a business, it can get chaotic, very stressful. You've got your family trays, you've got your kids to take care of, and you have a business coming on top of that. So it can get very stressful, very chaotic. And also, just to share my experience as well, you may experience this also, but when I first started working online and on social media, I would notice a lot of people having success in this. And whenever I'd see people have huge successes, I would make up a sorry excuse for myself, saying, oh, they're single, they don't have a family to take care of, that's why they are succeeding. Or, I'd say to myself, they probably have older kids that they don't need to take care of, so that's why they're seeing a lot of success and I'm not. Or another one would be, they probably can afford a full-time nanny, and that's why they're succeeding. And so I'd make up all these excuses of why I wasn't succeeding because I had kids. And I noticed that excuse is a horrible excuse of why I was not succeeding, and it's also very toxic as well. So if you ever feel that, if you ever feel that when you see other people succeed and you kind of make up your kids as an excuse, it's very toxic, and we need to kind of extract that from your excuses and extract that from your mentality. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and jump into it. Let me just share my screen here. Let's see. Okay. So with that being said, making your kids as an excuse, or running a household and running a business can be chaotic. My first tip and trick for this is having a clear mindset. So my first point is waking up early so that you can clear your mind, which this was a very hard thing for me to do because I'm a night owl, and I used to just sleep until my kids woke up, and then I would already feel kind of rushed and stressed, chaotic, because I wake up with the kids, and they are like 100 miles an hour when they wake up, and I was still kind of rolling out of bed. So to fix that was I trained myself to wake up early. Not at first, it was just maybe like 15, 20 minutes early, just so I can clear my mind, get things prepared for the day, prepare myself for the day, and the kids would wake up. And then I started to wake up maybe 2 to 1 hours early, just so that I can, again, clear my mind, do my affirmations, do a little meditation, and plan my day, and even kind of work before they got up in the morning. So also listening to motivational and self-development as much as you can while you're cleaning. When I first started my online social media journey, I had a 1-year-old, so I was nursing. I would have my phone, and I would put on my earbuds, and I would also always have some kind of personal development playing when I was driving, cooking, working out. It's just so important to get a clear mind and motivational mindset for you to carry on with the family and carry on with your business in, you know, a beautiful state of mind. Because when you have a state of mind, when you have a beautiful state of mind, you create beautiful things. Your family helps out, and they're, you know, they have beautiful states also, and it just helps out the whole family when you have a beautiful state of mind. And it helps to just continue to listen to those motivational self-development audios throughout the whole day, because as you know, anybody knows, you can get out of that beautiful state in a snap. So you need to get back into those states multiple times a day. So it's so important to have just a good mindset and to keep playing those audios throughout the day, even if it's just even if it just plays in the background, you're not really listening to it. It's just really important to have it on. So mindset is huge, especially when you have a family. You know, things get chaotic, or you know, you make up these excuses for yourself, and best way to do that, best way to turn that around is to work on your mindset. So the next thing is planning. Planning is huge. I time block, you know, my times throughout the day, set my work hours. So if you have a calendar, you know, set your time blocks from, like, you wake up from 5, you wake up at 5, from 5 to 6, you work on your mindset. And then from maybe 6 to 7, you can work a little bit before the kids get up. Or from maybe your kids take a nap in the middle of the day. So maybe from 1 to 2 is their nap time, and you can work. So when you know, when you're with your kids all the time, when you're with your kids all day, you kind of have to get creative with the work times that you have. I can usually get 5 to 6 hours spread out throughout the day. And then also at the same time, to set your time devoted to your family. So for example, I world school my kids. So we world school my kids, but at this time we have another family that world schools, and we kind of joined forces together, and we got our kids together in a class for a couple of hours during the day. So what my schedule is, usually I'll drop them off at class, and then while they're at class, I go to a nearby coffee shop and I work. And then when I go pick them up after a couple of hours, I devote time to them. We usually go to the beach, and that's a time where I'm totally devoted to my family. And then maybe after dinner, then that's another couple of hours after dinner where I can work before, you know, we wind down for bedtime. So get creative with your work hours. At first it could be that you have to kind of set a couple of hours scattered throughout the day, or you could you know, do a few more hours at night, or wake up early in the morning. Just get creative with your work hours. Make sure that you get those work hours there, and make sure you set those hours for your time, for your family as well, for your family, your spouse, your loved ones. Communicate your work times and your play times. It's important that you can tell your kids, hey, from this time to this time, mommy or daddy has to work. We really need to focus, and just kind of let them know what you're doing. And then also tell them, hey, you know, after this work time, it's going to be your time, and we can play and go out and have fun. So it's really important to just communicate that to your kids. My kids, you know, my older kids were 3 and 5 at the time, and they understood, you know, what was going on and what needed to get done. Give 100% one at a time. Again, this kind of goes back to setting your hours. So if it's time devoted to your kids and to your family, you know, don't think about work, and, you know, spend that time. 100% of you is your 100% of your presence is with your family, you know. And then if it's work time, I know it's easy for me sometimes, you know, I'll drop my kids off in class, and I go to the coffee shop, and then I'll find myself scrolling on Facebook or something, or watching videos on YouTube. And that's I get distracted. So make sure that if it's a work time, 100%, whether it's answering emails, going through trainings, give 100% at work time. And then also, be flexible. Things are not going to go your way 100% of the time. Kids get sick. Kids start fighting. Internet goes out. Or you need to put your attention to something else. Something about the house, or just emergencies come up and things happen. So don't beat yourself up for if things don't go as planned. Sometimes I remember I used to beat myself up. Like I used to set my alarm really early, and sometimes I'd miss my morning work hour. And I beat myself up for that, but just be flexible. And along with being flexible, which is what my next slide is to get help, because when you miss a work hour or you miss some things during the week, maybe get some childcare during the weekend and make up for those work hours during the week. I know that childcare can get expensive with nannies and all that, but when I first started, I got in contact with my local youth group in different churches around the area that helped me find like a trustworthy, teenager that's willing to help. I also, sorry, there's a lizard. You can hear that outside. Sorry. I also got in contact with my local homeschooling community, and they're very responsible teenagers that are willing to help you out for a very low cost or even for free. So there's always those resources. Also, house help is amazing, because then you don't have to worry about the cleaning, the laundry, the cooking. It gives you a little bit more time to think about your business or your kids or your family. So get help. You don't have to break the bank for it. You can always find some help that you can afford. Accountability partner. So in this community, we have a lot of other parents that understand your goals, that will help push you, motivate you. Make sure you contact them, just so that you can relate to each other and help motivate each other and push each other, because as a parent, it can get discouraging. You feel like nobody else has kids or nobody else has your problems, but contact another parent and have them as an accountability partner for each other. It really helps out a lot. And last but not least, this is my favorite tip for you, because this really totally changed my business around. It changed around our little family culture and our little family dynamic that helped me skyrocket the business. So get your kids involved with your business. What we started to do, or when we first started, communicate your dreams and visions to your kids. Again, my older kids were 3 and 5, and they were able to understand, like, oh wow, that's so cool that you want to travel and you want to take us places, and I wanted to connect with them at that level. And then they would tell me, their visions and their dreams, and they wanted to, see the world too. They wanted to learn about, different animal habitats, and, they wanted to learn about different parts of the world. And it was just fun to hear, to go into their minds, because these kids' minds are just so creative. It's a miracle, and it's so wonderful to hear them. Also share your visions about your brand and culture. They may have some wonderful ideas too. This was fun, because this is how some of our family cultures have come about. Like my kids, they wanted to have, it would be Pizza Friday. So, that's part of our culture now. It's part of our family brand. You know, we have Pizza Friday, or we have Hamburger Monday. So, you know, things like that, they want to help out with the culture and the brand. So it's really cool what these kids can think up of, and, you know, actually welcome them into the business, into your family culture. It just brings you guys together, closer together bond. And, you know, obviously that happiness, that joy, is also feeding into your business also. So it really helps out just the vibe of everything. Give them a job to do in the business and pay them for it. As my kids got older, they are the ones that are the photographers. So they take pictures, and they get rewarded for, you know, taking some really cool photos of wherever we are. So, you know, involve them. When have them listen in on a Skype or Zoom calls or your training modules. So sometimes, you know, I'd be on a Skype call with my team or with my clients. You know, I'll let, if they want to, they can, you know, come in and say hi, and I let them listen in onto what I'm doing, what I'm learning, because they're very curious. They want to see what you're doing. So I say, hey, this is a training module on social media, and, you know, they listen, and they may not get it, but it's kind of, they absorb that habit that you are building a business, that you're learning, and that you are implementing what you learn, and they get that also, and both of you benefit from that. So anyways, yes, get involved get your kids involved with your business, get creative with your work hours, and, you know, get creative with how you balance things out. And, you know, once it's just amazing how creative you can be, and have your kids be the reason why you are succeeding online instead of the excuse, if that makes sense. Because, like I said, I want them to be the reason that I'm succeeding, and not have them as an excuse to why I'm not. So have fun with it, guys. It is possible to run a successful business and have your kids around. It is really rewarding, and just a lot of fun. So I hope this helps you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.